Hello, Foundry friends. Hope you're doing well. Today, I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful weather. Hasn't it been great? I know you may be studying. It's hard to get out. Please get a little time to enjoy, because too quickly this is going to go away, and it'll be cold, and it'll be hard to get outside. So enjoy if you can. It's good times. We're still doing what we're doing, trying to see what the coronavirus is going to be doing with our society and our culture and people around us, our communities. So we're still staying safe. We're still doing distance sharing, I guess you'd say. Most of you are doing distance learning. We're doing distance sharing, and it's not the best, but at least we have this, and I hope you're taking some time to look at this. Thank you for doing this. Take about 15 minutes of your time, but it's a good opportunity just to think together a little bit. And even though I can't see you, it's a privilege for you to take some of your time and share this. We've been talking about media over the last several weeks, and we're continuing that. I think I've got one, maybe two more times we'll talk about it. Media is such a critical component of our culture. I mean, it infuses everything, so much more than when I was a young person, your age. Way back, a long time ago. Yeah. But it's true. Media in those days were basically divided into three things: television, print media, radio. That's it. That was it. And television, we had three stations: ABC, CBS, NBC. That was it. Period. Newspapers, we had newspapers. A couple of them where I grew up in Cincinnati, we had two of them, one in the morning, one in the evening. Magazines, yeah, we had magazines. Radio, yes, we had radio. AM mainly, which you don't see a whole lot of anymore. FM was new, and it was just beginning to get a little popular. Medium, or media, rather, was always around, but kind of in the background. But there's been one thing that has been around forever and ever and ever, really. As long as we've been walking around, we've had somebody doing something with music. Music is a medium that you don't think about, that is having a profound effect upon the way you think and act. It's nothing new. When I was back in college, I was studying music. I was just looking this up this morning, make sure I get the quote right. It was attributed to Plato, which was a Greek philosopher, 400 BC, something like that. But then later on, Wikipedia is saying, no, it was not Plato, but it was somebody about 1700, a British dude. Anyway, the quote goes like this: "Let me make the songs of the nation, and I care not who makes the law." Now listen to that again. Allow me to make the songs of the nations, and I care not who makes the laws. It's a pretty profound statement, pretty powerful. Whoever that was said this, that the message of the music has a more intense, lasting, and powerful impression upon the minds of the people than the very laws of the country. You agree with that? Well, I think he may have something, because there is a strong, powerful, ongoing influence that music has. It always has. And this is why I say it goes back centuries, if not multiple centuries. People have always believed and have worked their lives around music having a real impressionability. If you go back in World War II, and I know you won't listen to the music, but there was a composer by the name of Richard Wagner, who was a composer back in the 19th century. But he wrote a lot of operas, the typical, stereotypical Brunhilde that has these horns coming out of their head and whoa, whoa. That's Wagner. Because he wrote on all of the mythical Norse legends, and Hitler loved it because it portrayed power and Nordic pride and dominance. And he had Wagner being played everywhere. The result was the nation was moved in pride and power and walked and marched in lockstep with a dictator by the name of Adolf Hitler. Now, did music cause World War II? Of course not. Of course not. But did it have a profound effect? You cannot deny that. You cannot deny it. That is a big one. There's a lot more subtle one, and that's what's going on in our day and time. Now, I can, again, remember when I was a young man, I remember this well, because I was in the car with my family. I have a sister, mom, and dad. We were in the car, and I turned it to WSAI. WSAI in Cincinnati was the cool station. They played the top 40. And this was probably 1965, Beatles, that era. A long time ago, gang. I get it. I understand. But I was a young person, and I was listening to that, and my dad got upset with me, and he turned the station. I really got unnerved and angry and said, "There's good music on there. You just got to wait for it." Still remember that. Was it bad music? I don't know. Probably not that bad. Nothing maybe message-wise in comparison to today, but there was strong messages, and nevertheless, and I had a strong allegiance to that music. So, what does music do? Now, please, don't turn me off yet. Do not say, "Oh, there he is. The old pastor is saying you need to get rid of all your bad music, and you need to stop doing this because it's the devil's workshop." And I'm not saying that, but I am saying be smarter than just dismissing what I'm saying at hand. Because the honest truth is, music does have a profound, I could go in a little more detail, musicology-wise. I won't, but it affects our emotions, our thoughts, and our feelings. So, got some stuff here that's helping me. What is it? What is music doing? What is mainstream media music doing in our culture today? What's it doing to you? What's it doing to me? Well, let me give you three things. First, it doesn't have to, but it can influence your beliefs. So, well, this doesn't tell me not to believe in God. Well, some of them actually do. And in reality, they do. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what you believe to be right and good and true and moral and correct and all those kind of things. Your beliefs. So, if you listen to music today, as you have for a long time, your personal happiness is the most important thing in your life. As long as you're feeling good, and as long as you're feeling upbeat and feeling okay about how you are and what's going on, then that's the most important thing. That's your belief. Music supports that. Also, love equals sex. Sex equals love. Or even more disastrous than that is sex is just a thing. It's just a thing. You do it. It's a power grab. It's a pleaser to other people. We don't need to respect authority. They're all stupid. They don't know anything. I don't need to listen to you. I've got my rights. I am the one in charge. Or we can solve all our problems apart from God. All I need is the right formula and connections, and I'll be okay. You see, it begins to influence subtly, and that's what media does. Remember, media is subtle. It doesn't slap you in the face, but you listen to it enough, the message is you can develop your own beliefs. And they're just as valid as anyone else. How about your desires? Music can influence your desires. Again, very subtly, that living a carefree lifestyle is the best. I don't want to have to worry about anything. I'm okay. That money and treasures, cars, houses, clothes, how you look is the most important thing. Or you really are going to miss out on life if you're not sexually active outside of marriage. You're just losing out on life. Or music can influence how we want to portray ourselves. Hey guys, let's get honest. Let's get serious. Some of the music you're listening to, some of the message of the music basically turns girls into commodities. And if you're a commodity, you must prove yourself to be a worthy commodity by the way you dress, provocatively possibly, by the way you present yourself. And men, it makes you feel like, I need to be in charge. I need to be dominant. I need to be powerful. I need to tell you women, come on, look at the way you should behave when you get around me. Right? This is the message of music in our pop culture. Don't be naive. It isn't even subtle sometimes. All I need is someone to pull up beside me at a light with their windows down, listening to usually rap music and listening to the profane, unbelievable lyrics, the language, the degradation of women, all of those kinds of things. If that is what you're listening to, I need to tell you, you're treading on thin ice because it is having an effect on your life. I care not who makes, if I can make the music, I care not who makes the laws of the land. Well, what does the Bible say? Well, let me just give you 3 thoughts. I mean, we could go on a long time. And again, this is not a slap down. This is not telling you you've got to put her, but you've got to be wise. And if you're a Christian, if you're a Christ follower, listen, if you are, then you need to listen to what God has to say. Psalm 19, wonderful psalm. Listen to what it says. The heavens proclaim. It's almost like in a musical way. Someone wrote about the music of the spheres, about the music of the planets. The heavens proclaim, sing out the glory of God. The skies display his craftsmanship. Day after day they speak. They continue to speak. Night after night they make him known. They speak without a sound of word. Their voice is never heard. Yet their message has gone throughout the earth and their words to all the world. All of creation is singing out, proclaiming the glory of God. That's the creation. Even a fallen creation is proclaiming the beauty and the holiness of God. Should you not be doing that as well? And should not the things that you surround yourself with also have something to do with the beauty of God? Secondly, Philippians 4:8. Paul speaks to a church that he's concerned about. And he says, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts. Think about, concentrate on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about these things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Why does he say that? Because in the context of this letter, this last part, he's talking to people who are anxious and worried and fearful and frightened and unprepared for life. He's saying, guys, you got to get your thought life in with your heart life. You're proclaiming Christ in your heart. Proclaim Christ in your mind as well. Think about what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. In other words, you are what you think. And if your think is dominated by music of a worldly nature that cries out against God, then no wonder you got problems. One more. 1 Corinthians 10:31. So whether you eat or drink, whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. He says everything. Everything. Eat, drink, wake, sleep, friend, study, music. Whatever you do, make sure that God would be honored at what you're doing. Glorify Him. One of the things that I do, and I think I've done it for a long time, probably since I was a teenager, is that you need to visualize Jesus being with you. Is He here? Absolutely. He is here. He is in you. He is around you. To your right, to your left, to your front, to your back. He surrounds you. He is in you. But now, visualize Him in a real way. Just kind of close your eyes. Well, however you see Jesus, He's standing next to you. Would He be smiling in a good way at what you're listening to and what you're thinking and where you're going and the times that you're spending? Is He honored? You see, sometimes we think about God as a far-off thing till we need Him and we need Him near. But the truth is, He is here. And what you're listening to in your music, would Jesus standing next to you say, I like that. I like that. This is good. I love the beat. I love the lyric. I love it. Okay? Media has a profound effect in your life. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and music. Listen to some good stuff. Make sure God's honored. Okay, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.